G'day legends, Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Today's beer, it's a bit of a tribute to this bad boy, the blue Gatorade. I'm just tucking into one because I've just finished night shift and I'm very tired. So yeah, it's called Sourade and it's by Wayward Brewing Co. out of Sydney. The ultimate refreshment. So yeah, the Blue Blast Berry Beer. Percentage, straight 4. So yeah, 1.2 standard drinks in the can. I remember I had it, I think they first released it as a festival beer at Gabs. And Gabs is it's a beer festival that's at 3 cities in Australia where it's sort of a chance for breweries to like go experimental and bust out some stuff that you wouldn't normally like put in cans or have on like kegs in pubs and stuff. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, let's open her up and pour it into the glass, see if it's got that same colour. It sure does. So yeah, like in the glass, bright blue, clean and clear. It's probably not as bright on my camera, but just to give you a perspective, I'll put it up next to the actual Gatorade itself. So yeah, not quite as blue. It does look pretty out there though. Imagine like 10, 15 years ago thinking you could get something like this as a beer. So yeah, it's got like one finger head. You can see through it pretty much, clean and clear, light bodied, very spritzy. Let's go a whiff. And you're just getting a huge berry, like a blueberry, raspberry sort of character. A little bit like crackery. It's like it smells more sweet than tart. I'm going in. Cheers, peeps. Yeah, it's quite sour on the flavour. Definitely light. Yeah, on flavour you'd say like more like blueberry. Blueberry and like that biscuit crackery sort of like Berliner Weiss sort of style. I might even have another taste of the Gatorade just to see how similar they are. The Gatorade's like a little bit more punchy with flavour. You'd probably say the beer's like very similar in body to the actual Gatorade, so they've done well there. And yeah, obviously the beer being like a sour, sort of like a kettle sour style, it's a bit more puckering than just your like. This is more like sweet. But yeah, it's pretty cool, like a good take on it. It looks like mouthwash. Cheers, Ghost. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, get a bit of Listerine into you. Yeah, I remember at the festival, whenever there's beers like this, everyone just goes for them. Like you'll do like paddles, and yeah, like it's so cool to see people walking around with their paddles, and they got like I don't know, either 5 or 10 different beers, and you got all the colours of the rainbow. Like, it's so cool to see. It's very gimmicky, Gabs, but it's cool. Like just to be able to try beers that, yeah, there's no way in hell, like 10 years ago, you'd think you could even try. As I sort of dive into it more, you definitely get more of that like mouth puckering sour quality. Sort of get like it's on the taste. It's blueberry, definitely blueberry, but just on the aroma, it's like I get sort of a raspberry vibe as well. Mm. So one thing that's cool with these guys, actually, when I was in Sydney, I visited their brewery and it was really good. But lately, they've been up against it like a lot of breweries have lately, and they put out a can talking about the breakdown of costs for breweries and like what the government takes and all that sort of stuff. And I just thought that was really clever, and they had it all like broken down on the can, like a sort of like an economics chart sort of thing. It was like an accounting sort of just breaking down all the costs and like stuff like that. You start to really I don't know sort of step back and think fuck like they definitely have it tough with like especially in countries like Australia. The tax here is just insane for small breweries. How you going, Craig, brother? Yes, Smurf juice. That is a good name for it. So yeah, that's it's the Gatorade there, brother. So yeah, it's slightly different. This has got more of like a mouthwash sort of colour. They're both like very similar like flavour and body. But yeah, it's just the appearance is slightly different. This is like more of like a bluey greeny sort of tinge. But yeah, if like this would be the sort of beer like quite often say if you've got a female friend and you want to introduce them to craft beer, I think beers like this, like although they can be gimmicky, they're a good gateway beer, like just a basic sort of like fruity kettle sour, and it's like not too in your face with flavour, and like just another thing too, especially like a lot of girls and that they when it comes to like beverages, they just love the look of something if it's like a little bit elegant like that. So it's pretty cool. Window cleaner. How are you, Joshy boy? But yeah, when I sort of go back and forth from the Gatorade, the Gatorade's definitely more punchy with flavour and sweetness. But then yeah, the beers like you get more of that sort of tart, like biscuity quality. It's a good little experiment, boys and girls. Cheers, Tanner. So is anyone else out there drinking? I was considering going to Beer Man's, but the beer that I sort of wanted for the show hasn't arrived. So I'm not sure what to do because I don't really have anything that fits any of my words. My three words just didn't work together at all. I could definitely find stuff that suits maybe one word, but that's about it. So yeah, maybe I'll just hold off till next week. Cheers, Disco. Get a bit of Listerine into you, brother. It's like a crazy world, though, just thinking, yeah, like breweries just come out with shit like this. It's insane. And normally, as I said, it was like a festival beer originally and did pretty well at the festival, won a few awards and stuff like. It just goes to show some beers, when they're a little bit out there, they can actually put them in cans and go all right. Electric blueberry sour. But yeah, even the name and the logo and that, it's definitely a bit of a piss take. Yeah, so it must have been originally brewed for the festival in 2021. Yeah, I just remember everyone lining up, and yeah, I was one of the first ones to get my beers, and I remember getting this is next to a heap of stuff. At this festival in particular, I always get a heap of stouts. But yeah, I had this bright blue thing in amongst my paddle, and as I got my drinks and walked out back into the tables and stuff, everyone's just looking at my paddle, going, "What's that blue one?" I'll see if I can find the photo of the paddle. It's pretty funny. Good old Untapped. You can go back and check on shit like that. Here we go. So yeah, that's just an example of when you go to these festivals, you get these little tasters of all the colours of the rainbow. And yeah, that beer that I've got now is obviously that top one. So yeah, you've got a couple of sours in there, couple of IPAs. No stouts in that one, which surprises me, but sometimes they'd have particular stands where there'd be a lot of sours and IPAs and stuff, and then get another stand that would have a heap of stouts. Cheers, Bumpy. And cheers, Paul, brother. Good to see you, boys. So that's the end of that bad boy. Still got some of this, though. But yeah, pretty good take. I don't mind a gimmicky thing every now and then. It's not something I go for very often, but something like that festival setting, I don't mind it. So yeah, score wise, probably be about a 3.75 out of 5. Just sort of Yeah, fairly decent kettle sour, but nothing like mind blowing. It's definitely like a good take on the classic drink. We've all had Gatorade before. I'm not sure. Like, we've got one in Australia called Powerade. I don't know if that's worldwide as well, or so. Yeah, it could have even been like a bit of a take on the blue Powerade as well. But Gatorade to me seems like it's the one that most people know, like you see on NFL and all that sort of shit. So yeah, I will depart and possibly crack another beer. So thanks to everyone for chiming in, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.